Here we are, back at it again on a Monday, but not just any regular Monday. It's the last day of the year. It is the 365th and final day of 2018, New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2018. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day and ending your year with us here on the NCW Life Channel. It's Monday. You know the tradition around here. On Mondays, we're here. I'm working. Megan's working. We're not working real hard. Gonna get through this Monday. Gonna kind of slack off during the course of the day, do the minimum amount required, and then get out of here and enjoy the New Year's. And I hope you had a good 2018. I hope you're looking forward to an even better 2019. So good show for today. Lots of news to get to. We had a fire overnight in the 900 block of Mission Street. Our very own senior news correspondent Steve Hare rolled out of bed and went down there and covered it. That'll be our top news story when we get to news here in just a couple minutes. Also, we have sports. It was a good Friday for the Washington State Cougars, a moderately good Sunday for the Seattle Seahawks. Hey, a victory is a victory. Now it's off to the playoffs. We'll be taking on the Cowboys on Saturday afternoon. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll preview the Rose Bowl as the Washington Huskies get ready to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes tomorrow. Lots of sports, including a great little montage that our very own Eric Granstrom put together of wrapping up the year in sports 2018. You'll get to that. Also, we have the Obscura holiday. We have Today in History. We have birthdays, including a very special local celebrity celebrating a birthday, not today, but tomorrow. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNarty's opinion. And no guest today. Mondays are the hardest day for me to book a guest. It's hard. And then you combine the fact that we're still well into the holiday season, and it's New Year's Eve, and a lot of people aren't working, or a lot of people aren't going to, so you're just going to get a double dose of me for the second half of the program. Sorry you're being punished. And by the way, 2018 is going out like a lamb. We hit 47 yesterday. Sunday's high was 47 degrees. It was unbelievably warm, nice and sunny, beautiful day. Certainly not a late December day like we're used to. In fact, we were just one off the record. The record high on December 30th was 48, so we almost broke a record yesterday. Not going to break any records in the near future, but the weather pattern, all in all, for the rest of this week, as we bid adieu to 2018 and welcome 2019, is going to be pretty quiet. Not a lot going on there. So if you're ready and I'm ready, let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. A beautiful shot of downtown Wenatchee from the roof of the Cascadian looking to the north. And as you can tell, there simply is not a lot of traffic out there. If this was a regular Monday or any other regular weekday, not wrapped around the holiday season, you would see a lot of cars heading to where they need to go. You can see, of course, Chelan is on your left and the Avenue is on your right. I'm sorry, Mission's on your left and Chelan is on your right, but there just isn't not a lot of people out and about. That's cool. Got no problems with that. Everybody's relaxing and chilling, so there is a beautiful view of downtown Wenatchee. Again, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless network. That is, I want to say, the Apple Annie's camera. Is that correct, Megan? Help me out. What camera is that? Yep, that is that. Okay. Thank you very much. There's beautiful Cashmere. Good morning, Cashmere. Good to have you on board. Look at the mountains. Look at the foothills of the Cascades with the snow caps there. That's just gorgeous. Still a ways from sunrise. We're still 40 minutes away from sunrise, but the days are gradually getting longer, and I mean real gradually, you know, like 20 seconds a day. It'll all add up, though. Camera number 3, Megan says. Let's see what's happening there. Wow. I don't know what that is, except it's a sunrise. Is that Billy Goat? That is Billy Goat, the camera we've just fell in love with since we put that up there just about a year ago. That's our highest camera. It's over 7,000 feet in elevation. We have that pointed a little bit to the east, which is why you can see the sun coming up. Everybody has clear skies today, and everybody is going to have clear skies today. It's going to be dry, temperatures right around where they should be. No real precipitation. Forecast details are coming up. Camera 4. Have we already gone through 4 cameras? No, we haven't. That is, let me think. I see the dam. I see lights. I want to say Hose Landing or maybe the Waterville camera. I'm sorry, Megan? That's Omi Garden. Wow, okay, thank you. That would be Omi Garden. So that's Rocky Reach Dam into the far left-hand corner of your screen up there in the top. And you can see the industrial park, whose name I just drew a blank on. I'm an idiot. It's Monday and I'm not real smart. So anyway, there you go. Good to see you, Omi Gardens. It is 5 minutes after the hour on this Monday. From the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. There's really not a lot to talk about. Quite a bit of sunshine today, a lot cooler than yesterday. Again, we hit 47 yesterday, but with the clear skies, there's no clouds to hold the heat in, which is why we've dropped down to 28 degrees. We're not going to warm up a great deal, only about 35 for our afternoon high today. Clouds will be thickening up tonight, 23 for the overnight low. New Year's Day, partly sunny and a high near 33. You have to enjoy the sunshine this time of the year because normally we don't have that. Usually we get the inversion and we get the clouds and the gunk. Well, that's not going to be the case. Cloudy skies Wednesday and a high near 34. Slight chance of some light snow Wednesday night. No snow accumulation really expected. Overnight low about 29. Could even mix with rain at times on Wednesday night. Thursday, rain and snow likely in the morning. Then it switches over to all rain in the afternoon. And again, whatever snow we're going to get, it's not going to last long with a high of 39 on Thursday. Thursday night, cloudy and 33. Friday, cloudy and 41. So again, we go from just about normal, 34, 35, 33. Then we jump up to warm temperatures again. It's been an unseasonably warm winter for north central Washington and abnormally dry as well. But at least it's starting to snow a little bit more in the mountain passes. They're getting caught up on the snowpack. They badly needed that. In fact, let's go ahead and take you up to the mountain passes on this last day of 2018, see what we're looking at. We'll start out with I-90, Stevens Snoqualmie Pass. No advisories, no restrictions on I-90. You got some scattered clouds. The roadway is mostly bare and wet. Again, no advisories nor restrictions on I-90. That's normally not the camera we show you, but the camera that we normally show you right at the summit is not working right now. I'm sure somebody from the DOT is trying to fix that as we speak. Stevens Pass. Do a live shot. There you go, US 2 Stevens. No advisory. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a traction tire advisory. Traction tires are advised on Stevens Pass. Snow, slush, and ice. Snow, slush, and ice on the roadway. Nothing coming down, by the way. Blewett Pass, same deal. Traction tires are advised there. You're going to find some patches of snow, slush, and ice on Blewett Pass. Clear skies. And there you go. Traction tires are advised on Blewett. Traction tires are advised on Stevens. No advisories or restrictions. No snow at all today. In fact, just like the valley floor, they're expecting sunshine today on all the major mountain passes. No snow today, no snow tonight. New Year's Day, no snow. Tuesday night, no snow. Wednesday, no real snow. However, Wednesday night into Thursday, they are expecting some snowfall. About 3 to 5 inches expected Wednesday night in the mountain passes. And then on Thursday morning, an additional 4 to 8 inches of snow. So if you're traveling over the mountain passes Wednesday night and Thursday, you'll find winter driving conditions, anywhere from 7 to 13 inches of snow expected Wednesday night into Thursday. Again, no advisories or restrictions on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires are advised on Stevens and on Blewett, but there is no snow in the forecast for the next few days up in the mountains. 8 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, your Monday Morning News. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for the last day of 2018 on the NCW Life Channel.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life Channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Just about 9 minutes after the hour, a little over 9 minutes after the hour, we have just a few clouds out there, 28 degrees, sunshine for the most part today, and a high of 35, and sunshine for the most part on New Year's Day. I'm Dan Kuntz. Here's what's making headlines on this Monday morning. Firefighters called out overnight to a structure fire on South Mission Street here in Wenatchee. An older single-story wood frame home catching fire. Chelan County District 1 Captain Clint Webley says the house was not occupied.
We arrived to find smoke and fire showing from the Bravo side of the structure, one of the windows on that side, and smoke throughout the building. The building appeared vacant with boarded up windows. However, we made sure we got inside as quickly as possible for a fire attack and do a primary search. Lots of times, especially during this time of year, people will use structures like this to stay warm. We had some difficulty gaining access to the fire because it was boarded up, but crews were able to get in quickly still and make a good fire attack and knock the fire down, and we were able to get searches of the structure with nothing found. No injuries reported. We're just continuing to monitor on scene for any hot spots.
Webley says damage was limited to the south side of the structure. The cause is under investigation. By the way, southbound traffic on South Mission near the Cellar Bridge was delayed for about 2 hours. Well, it is New Year's Eve, and all last week and one more time this week we've been profiling what's it like to be inside the patrol car on a DUI patrol with Officer Albert Gonzalez as he patrols the streets of Wenatchee looking for impaired drivers. It seemed apropos that we air segment 3 once again today on this New Year's Eve. This report by Caitlin Heddersheet.
Driver impairment due to alcohol and drugs is the #1 contributing factor in fatal crashes in Washington state and is involved in nearly half of all traffic fatalities. This, according to a 2018 traffic safety report. Another major contributing factor to vehicle fatalities in Washington state is speeding, which accounts for 31% of all crash fatalities between 2007 and 2016. While on a DUI ride along with Wenatchee Police Officer Albert Gonzalez, we saw an example of an impaired driver speeding and failing to yield.
Come on, there's plenty of places to pull over. You gotta be kidding me.
After pursuing the vehicle into East Wenatchee and eventually coming to a stop at a 7-Eleven, officers asked the driver to step out of the vehicle.
What is your issue? Driver, put your hands out the window. Driver, put your hands out the window.
Explaining to police why she failed to stop for Officer Gonzalez, the driver submitted to the preliminary breath test after admitting she had been drinking. Gonzalez places her under arrest for driving under the influence and speeding.
Okay, look, I'm not charging you with the felony, okay? I'm not charging you with the felony. This is simply you failed to yield to my lights and sirens, and obviously you're under the influence. Okay.
Any driver arrested for driving under the influence in Wenatchee is taken to the Chelan County Jail. In this case, the impaired driver began to refuse to cooperate with Officer Gonzalez, but volunteered for a blood test. After following protocol for a blood draw, the female driver was booked in jail for a DUI. When it comes to DUIs, I asked Gonzalez if he's ever sympathetic toward a person and their story, as it could be the worst day of someone's life.
It's all about how you talk to people and how you come across. I always tell people that exact thing, and a lot of officers do too. When we arrest somebody, it is the worst day of their lives. It doesn't matter what the charge is. They're going to jail, so they're not going to be happy about it. Some people know that it's coming. Some people don't care. Others freak out. But ultimately, what it comes down to is I just break it down and I say, hey, look, it's not a felony, first of all. And unless they have more than 4 in 10 years, then it is a felony. But that's another story. A lot of people from all walks of life we see that get DUIs. I mean, professionals, your average Joe, your hardened criminal, everybody. It's kind of a sad deal, but I think a lot of it comes down to people feel that they are fine and they're not.
More often than not, DUIs are a preventable crime. Officers often warn the community, just don't drink and drive.
That's what I say. It's always safe, just don't drive and just get an Uber.
Officer Gonzalez says there are cases where drivers are exhibiting dangerous behavior, but it's not always impairment.
Something that we got to be cognizant of too is medical emergencies that might seem like impairment, but aren't.
Drivers experiencing a diabetic episode, stroke, a crisis or mental health condition, or even a traumatic brain injury. These are all instances where a driver could be misidentified as impaired. Gonzalez says this is where interview questions and the field sobriety test can help determine the situation, or calling in a drug recognition expert.
If all else fails, then a DRE can be called out, a drug recognition expert, to conduct some additional testing.
Also known as a DRE, the purpose for this program is to further help officers determine whether a driver is under the influence and what drug is causing the impairment.
So I'm a DRE, so I do a lot of DUIs.
DREs complete several weeks of training and follow a 12-step procedure when investigating a possible DUI and are required to maintain their certification every 2 years. In our next NCW magazine, we sit down with Wenatchee detective Steve Evett to take a closer look at the field sobriety tests and talk more about DREs. Visit ncwlife.com to watch this episode and view other NCW magazines on demand. Caitlin Hedersheet, NCW Life News.
Good stuff from Caitlin. And as she mentioned at the end of her report, you can watch the entire episode online by going to our website at ncwlife.com. Speaking of driving under the influence, arrests are up 38% in the Wenatchee Valley this year. That's according to a report prepared by the Wenatchee Police Department. Arrests by the Chelan County Sheriff's Office had the biggest jump, up 47% over last year. But all agencies, including Chelan and Douglas County Sheriffs, Wenatchee and East Wenatchee Police, they all had significant increases in DUI arrests. The report tracks arrests from January 1st to December 26th. Chelan County deputies arrested 289 people for DUI. That's up from 197 from last year. In 2016, they arrested 131 people. Wenatchee arrests went from 129 in 2017 to 184 in 2018. East Wenatchee arrests went from 65 last year to 83 this year. Douglas County deputies arrested 129 people this year. That's up from 105 last year. Overall, for those jurisdictions, arrests went from 496 last year to 685 this year. The Wenatchee Police Department points out that while most DUI arrests are for alcohol consumption, impaired driving also includes marijuana use, prescription drug and illegal substances. DUIs account for a significant number of fatal auto accidents as well. Well, several newly elected officials will be sworn in today in Chelan County. At the Chelan County Courthouse, they include County Commissioner, the new one, Bob Bugert, will take office today. At 9 o'clock, Sheriff Brian Burnett, Superior Court Judge Kristen Ferreira, District Court Judge Kyle Mott, County Assessor Dina Walter, everybody who won election back in November will be sworn in at 9 a.m. It's a public ceremony. By the way, Douglas County will be holding their ceremony January 2nd at the Waterville Courthouse at 11 a.m. Retired Chelan County Superior Court Judge T.W. Chip Small has announced the release of a brand new book that he's authored. It's entitled, You're Not a Lawyer Anymore, a primer for those who want to be a good judge. The book is now available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle. Small says in a news release that the book is written not only for judges and lawyers who are thinking about becoming a judge, but for anybody who wants to understand what judges actually do. For more information, you can contact Judge Small at judgesmallbook@outlook.com, or you can watch this show on Friday. Retired Judge Small will be my guest on this program on Friday, January 2nd. And finally, a feature story to end the new year with, comprised of a select number of elementary and middle school students. Eastmont Bonga Marimba is led by music teacher Vinnie Lee, who started the band after finding inspiration at a school conference and gaining support from a locally funded grant.
Our instruments are fashioned after an African-style marimba, and the music that we play is inspired by the Shona culture from Zimbabwe. And so I looked up Shona words, and I found 3 different words, and one of them was bonga, and bonga means wildcat. And we're from all the elementary schools in Eastmont School District. We learn everything by rote, so they have to learn it through ear. We can play very difficult rhythms, and we can put very difficult rhythms together between different instruments because we're not reading. And I can say a rhythm, I can sing a rhythm or clap a rhythm, and they all go, oh yeah, I get it. And they will do that rhythm. We can learn much faster because there's like 17 kids in the group, and I can there's 5 different sections, and I can teach 1 kid out of each of the 5 sections, and now they're teaching the other 2 or 3 kids within their section, so we learn much quicker. And it develops leadership. And they love it. These are all, I have a class full of leaders really in here.
I keep on coming back because because I just love the teamwork and just the friendship in this room that keeps the music going, and yeah.
I think it brings confidence because we were going out into the public all the time, and 2 years ago we had 21 gigs, so in one school year. And they get so comfortable, and I don't let them play a tune until they know it well, so that way when we do go into public, they're successful.
I had heard it in 2nd grade at the talent show, and I just thought it was really, really cool. And when I got my letter, and I was just like, oh yeah. I don't know, it's just like, I feel the music pulsing beneath my feet, and it's just like, what makes me want to jump in and stuff and dance.
I am so thankful. I am so thankful to Eastmont School District. It's a way that I can end my day on such a good note every day. It's so uplifting, and the music is just really uplifting. But I think that it's just working with the kids and knowing, I know I'm bringing up this next generation of kids, and they're becoming leaders in their music groups up at school. A lot of these kids are in a band program, and they're going on into percussion.
Good for Miss Lee. That's really, really good stuff. Like to see kids engaged in music. Music is a critical part of the education process. 22 minutes after the hour, quick programming reminder, we will have news tonight. Grant Olson will be in the anchor chair, also handling the weather forecast. Eric Granstrom with sports. The news will come your way at 5, 6, and 10. You can watch it on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV, at 5, 6, and 10. Also available on demand on our Facebook page, just about 5 o'clock in the evening, and available on demand to watch whenever you want to watch it on our website at ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page and our website are two of the many ways you can get a hold of us. Just look at the bottom of your screen. There you go. Email us, news@ncwlife.com. You can give us a telephone call at the number you see there, 888-NCWL. You can private message us on our Facebook page or send us a message via our website. This is as much your station as it is ours. It is 22 minutes after the hour, just a couple of clouds, 28 degrees, sunshine for the most part, and a high of 35. A very quiet start, very quiet end to the old year, and a very quiet start to the new year. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays, and everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. You're watching a New Year's Eve edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Turn back the clocks and grab the ice melt. Winter weather is here. This is Corey at Rose Tractor. If you're looking for a reliable way to clear snow, look no further than Cub Cadet. For sidewalks and driveways, a Cub Cadet snow thrower will get the job done in a jiffy. For larger jobs, a Cub Cadet Challenger utility vehicle with a snow blade will handle about anything. You can depend on Cub Cadet for years of reliable performance, and we'll help you select the best model for your job at Rose Tractor, family-run business at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
And we're back. Look at that beautiful sunrise coming up over Billy Goat up in the Pateros area, about 75 miles north of us. It's going to be a beautiful day for everybody as we say goodbye to 2018. Let's do sports. Seahawks, of course, heading to the playoffs. We now know where. They're going to be the number 5 seed in the NFC after they beat Arizona yesterday at CenturyLink Field, the final 27-24. An otherwise dismal day on special teams, bailed out by Sebastian Janikowski. His 33-yard game-winning field goal as time expired lifted Seattle to the victory. Seahawks had 2 punts blocked and several long returns on kicks to put a bad taste in the mouths of the 12s, but Coach Pete Carroll would be undeterred.
There's a lot of concerns about the way this thing came off today, the way we played, but I really look at it like we stopped the streak. Because we haven't beaten these guys in 3 years here, so whatever it took to get it done, we finally got that done. There was a lot of issues with this game in field position because of special teams plays and mishaps and all of that that made it really hard. It just reminds us of how hard it is to win these games and how much we cherish every one of them. They played really good today, and when they needed to, and as they had to keep it like that. So it's good to get this win. And it's good to get to 10 and all that.
The offensive line had their own issues. They allowed 6 sacks. The passing attack netted just 109 yards on the day. Coach Carroll was quick to point out, though, that the defense was pretty darn good. Seattle's defense played well. They came up with 6 sacks, and they kept the Cardinals to a net of just 198 yards of total offense.
What was really obvious today was the defense played all day long, and they did great. And they held them. They didn't give them 100 yards rushing, 6 sacks, big third down numbers again. Really good pressure all day long and good coverage all day long too, for the most part. And it was just a really good day for them, and we needed them badly. And that's kind of how it works, you know. Fortunately, we ran the ball well and got our yardage and did like we've been doing. But we had trouble with the pass protection today, was obvious, and they got 6 sacks too. We had some trouble with line calls, line stunts, and things that they were doing. A couple pressures we didn't identify well, and you could just see where the mixing and matching caught us a little bit today against a team that makes it really hard on you, and so it was a bad mix. Fortunately, we're back. We should be back to pretty good shape next week as we get ready for the next game. Fluke was ready to play today. We held him out. He was ready if we needed him, which is great. So he goes back in there, and it allows Fetty to go back to tackle and George to go back to the tight end stuff that we've been doing. And we're pleased with that. We'll find out about Squeeze. So anyway, we ended up getting 10, and we're heading to the playoffs, and our guys are really excited about that. They're really pumped up about the next step, and looking forward to it.
Chris Carson led the rushing attack, 122 yards on 19 carries, scored a touchdown. Running mate Mike Davis also punched one in on the ground. So we are set. Next up for the Seahawks, NFC wildcard game at Jerry World in Dallas. It'll be Saturday, 5:15, with the game broadcast on Fox. That's professional football. The national championship in college football is now set following a couple of yawners on Saturday afternoon. It was hard to watch, but we're ready to go. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Clemson. A week from tonight, the Crimson Tide rolled over Oklahoma 45-34 earlier in the night. Earlier in the day, Saturday, Clemson rolled over Notre Dame 30-3. The Washington State Cougars able to claim victory in the Alamo Bowl Friday night. 28-26, the final over Iowa State. Gardner Minshew threw for a couple of touchdowns, ran for another. The Cougars set a school record 11 wins in this season. Minshew also finished with 4,779 passing yards in the season. That breaks the Pac-12 single-season record previously held by Jared Goff of California. Cyclones had a chance to tie the game with 4:02 remaining following a 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Josh Purdy, but the Cougar defense rose to the occasion on the ensuing 2-point attempt, stopped the pass play well short of the goal line. By the way, Wazoo became the first Pac-12 team to win a bowl game in 366 days. The conference, of course, went 0 for the following Utah win last December in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. That was last December, the day after Christmas, so at least they're off the schneid there. Congratulations to the Cougars, 11 wins for the first time in school history. Washington hoping to follow Washington State's lead tomorrow afternoon. It's the 105th Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual. Huskies take on Ohio State, 2 o'clock kickoff in beautiful Pasadena, Washington. Of course, the champions of the Pac-12. Ohio State is a champion of the Big Ten, finishing the season 12-1. Huskies are 10-3, looking for just their second bowl win over Coach Chris Peterson. It's also the first time for Washington at the Rose Bowl since following the 2001 season. It'll be Ohio State's Urban Meyer's last game as head coach, but he has since announced he'll be staying on, of course, as assistant athletic director at the Ohio State University. Here's what we have on tap this week on sports as we bring in the new year. We'll have live wrestling action Thursday night at 7 o'clock. The Wenatchee Panthers hosting the West Valley Rams. On Friday, it's the annual Litter Box Games as the Wenatchee Panthers take on the Eastmont Wildcats at the Town Toyota Center. We'll be live with the unified game at 5, the girls' game at 6, the boys' game at 7:30. Grant Olson and Eric Grandstrom will be courtside with your play-by-play. We'll have more live basketball Saturday as Eastmont hosts Davis, the girls at 5:30, and the boys to follow. And of course, It wouldn't be right to end the year without looking back at some of the big sports stories that we broadcast right here on the NCW Life Channel. Some amazing statistics. In all, we broadcast 73 live local high school sporting events starting last January 2nd all the way to the end of this year today, and add in the 43 Wenatchee Wild hockey games that we broadcast. In the past calendar year, we broadcast 116 local sporting events, and we take a look back at the year that was in the NCW Life Channel Sports Department.
47-44, three-pointer for Kuntz. Ramos Garcia, underhand, good! At the buzzer!
There it is. That's the win.
Eastmont will win the regular season championship.
And that will do it. Wenatchee's going to win it in double overtime.
The Kashmir Bulldogs will play for the state championship on Saturday night.
The quick move. Left foot, Nasser! Go, 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 go!
Vanderbeck again. Shot. Score! Signed, sealed, delivered. Wenatchee, you are home to an ice hockey champion.
Here comes the throw home. It's offline, and the run will score, and Eastmont takes a 2-1 lead.
These boys behind me are officially the top team in the Big Nine. Congratulations.
And that's opening things up for Roby.
Jorgensen with the shot and the goal, and Wenatchee's up 9-4 with a huge shot for Roby Jorgensen with 5:34 to go. Jorgensen has the hat trick on the night.
Okay, we're doing O-line on three. Ready?
O-line on three. 1, 2, 3. O-line.
Now, wait a minute. Before we go to the break.
That's why he made that 60-yard interception return.
You got to pan out a little bit and show these cleats here. For goodness, I got to step out of get the light on those. Where in the world did you get those?
Yeah, I had to custom order them. No, I'm just playing.
Reverses it. And it's a point for Wenatchee, and the Panthers will win it 16-14.
Dalton Thomas, number 8, defensive back, the Sunny Slope Elementary School. Go Wolves, baby.
Wesley, the Island, McElwain, number 3, corner, Kenroy Elementary.
And then back to pass Everhart, looking downfield, throwing, and wide open as Kalen Massey comes up with a football. He's loose at the 35-30, 25-20, taking it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage.
Congratulations. I mean, obviously, what a game tonight.
Yeah, hell of a game. Offense came out, just hitting on all cylinders.
The Eastmont Wildcats are the Big Nine champs.
Yeah! And we hit the field like, all day like, all night like, offense like, defense like, it's squad like, going blue like, on the right like, and it's down like, and it's down like, and it's down like.
All right, there you go. That's going to wrap it up for the NCW Life Channel. Say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good stuff, Eric. Here's hoping that 2019 lives up to 2018. It was a great year telecasting local sports here on the NCW Life Channel. All right, 33 minutes after the hour, let's do the obscure holiday. It's New Year's Eve. Nothing obscure about that. There you go. Almost midnight, toast a little champagne. None for me, though. Champagne and I do not get along. Of course, New Year's Eve is that time when anything and everything seems possible. As we say, good riddance. Sometimes good riddance, other times I'm going to miss 2018. It was a good year for me, but it's a new year. We have the Gregorian calendar, and that means this is it, the end of the year. Midnight tonight, it is a new year. And of course, the big celebration is almost always held in Times Square in New York City. A lot of people have their very own traditions to celebrate New Year's Eve. There's Times Square. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. In Germany, they call it St. Sylvester's Day, by the way. And it's a huge party in downtown Berlin. It takes up 2 miles with live bands and fireworks and light shows and a lot of fun. It's almost as big as Times Square. And in Iceland, at sunset, everybody goes to Mass, and then they spend time with their family and friends. And then at midnight in Iceland, they shoot off something in the neighborhood of 500 tons of fireworks. That's a lot of fireworks. Happy New Year's Eve. It's today. Let's do today in history. There's Times Square. It was on this date 111 years ago that the very first New Year's Eve celebration was held. at Times Square in Manhattan. That's right, 111 years ago. About 200,000 people showed up for that event. Over a million people are expected to cram into Times Square tonight for the 111th ball dropping. When 1999 became the year 2000, they had over 2 million people crammed in to Times Square. But the very first New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square happened on this date back in 1907. And 2 football games of note to pass along to you. Today's the anniversary of the Ice Bowl, the famous game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Packers won 21-17. It was dubbed the Ice Bowl by the sports media. Game time temperature at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, minus 15 degrees. You factor in the wind chill, minus 48 degrees. We have all seen the films of the famous Ice Bowl, but believe it or not, CBS's original telecast is gone for good. Back in those days, after the telecast was over, they would simply erase the videotape because they figured there was no reason to save it, which they had. No copy of the actual telecast exists of the Ice Bowl, which was held 51 years ago today. And this is the 30th anniversary of the game that nobody saw, the Fog Bowl. I remember watching this on TV because you couldn't see anything. The Chicago Bears defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 20-12 in the NFC Divisional Playoff game. 65,354 fans didn't get to see it. Halfway through the second quarter, the fog rolled in, and that was it. Visibility was about 15 yards, but they played the game anyway, the famous Fog Bowl. 30 years old today. And finally, at 36 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays, including 2 people who are no longer with us but accomplished a great deal. George Marshall, United States 5-star general, was born in the state in 1880. Army Chief of Staff during World War II, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. He did it all. He was the only general that FDR knew who Franklin Delano Roosevelt referred to simply as General or General Marshall. He called everybody else by their nickname. Douglas MacArthur was Doug. Eisenhower was Ike. But FDR respected George Marshall so much, he simply referred to him as the General. George Marshall, born in the state in 1880, passed away at the age of 78 back in 1959. Don James was born in the state in 1932. That's right, Don James would have been 86 years old today. Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, back in 1997. 4 times a Rose Bowl champion, champion of the 1985 Orange Bowl, the 1991, of course, national champions. He was 10-5 in bowl games, and he was the National Coach of the Year in college football in 1977, 1984, and 1991. Don James, born in the state in 1932. Anthony Hopkins, working hard. He's in Westworld now. He doesn't have to work. He's 81, but he likes it. Of course, he won the Best Actor Academy Award for Silence of the Lambs back in 1992 as Hannibal Lecter. Remains of the Day. My favorite Anthony Hopkins movie was Nixon. He was really good in that. Amistad, now, of course, in Westworld. Anthony Hopkins is 81. And celebrating an early birthday is Des McPherson. There he is. Hi, Des. Happy birthday. His birthday is actually tomorrow, and he's not in this country to celebrate it, but we wanted to wish happy birthday tomorrow to Des McPherson, who is somehow or another related to the producer of this program. I'll get back to you on that. It is 38 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for the final day of 2018 on the NCW Life Channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, retail businesses, if you're not doing so well, here's a tip. I believe the concept of retail is that a business wants people to come in to that business and exchange their money in their pockets for the merchandise the business has on its shelves. Well, okay, fine. But here's the important part. The exchange occurs at something called a checkout stand or a cash register. Now, this is the point, right? A customer takes your stuff and gives you money. Wouldn't it therefore make sense to actually have a sufficient number of people at the place where this exchange is supposed to take place, so that the potential transaction can actually occur within a reasonable amount of time? Now, I mean, in my own limited perspective, that's what I think is a good idea. Now, maybe consider it. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
44 minutes after the hour on this New Year's Day, this Monday. Maybe it's indicative of this program as a whole, or maybe it's just an anomaly. But as I mentioned at the start of the show, we're here. We're not working real hard. We rarely do on a Monday. And Megan, my producer, talks into my earpiece during the course of the program, and she gives me a countdown. So when we come out of commercial breaks, I'm ready to go. And she just gave me the countdown. 5, 4, whatever. That's what she told me in my earpiece. Dan Kuntz with about 15 minutes left to go before we get out of here and start celebrating our New Year's. So let's end the show where we began. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Now that the sun is up, we can actually see things, and you can see it's a very beautiful morning. If you just joined us, yesterday's high, Sunday's high, 47 degrees, just one off the record high on December 30th, which is 48 degrees. It was unseasonably mild yesterday, and it's been an unseasonably mild December, and December is going out like a lamb. Not a lion. We got a very quiet forecast coming your way. That's a beautiful shot of downtown Wenatchee from the roof of the Cascadian Hotel. Again, very light traffic as we're starting to wrap up the holiday season. A lot of people taking time off from work. Obviously, there's no school, so traffic is light. A gorgeous, gorgeous shot of the Cashmere area. What a spectacular view. That is unbelievable. And look at the sun kissing the crest of the Cascades. And just a couple of days ago, there was quite a bit of snow, really right down on the floor of Cashmere, but with yesterday's highs in the mid-40s, a lot of that has melted away. Good morning, Cashmere. Camera number 3. Billy Goat, looking better and better and better. That is a view I cannot tire of. That's the Columbia River, that one body of water that you see there. Normally, Billy Goat, we have it pointed almost due north, right up the Columbia, so you can see Pateros and you can see Brewster, but we have it aimed just a little bit to the east so we can enjoy that incredible sunrise up in the Billy Goat area. And finally, camera number 4 is another shot of Omi Garden. Beautiful view there, Rocky Reach Dam on your far left, and the mighty Columbia just sitting there. There's very little traffic at all, even on US 97A on the west side of the Columbia or on US 97 on the east side of the Columbia. It's just a nice, quiet, easy Monday morning, and Mother Nature is going to cooperate. If you don't like snow and cold and rain and all that other gunk that we're used to this time of the year, nothing wrong with the forecast. Let's take a look at it from the National Weather Service. It's going to be sunny for the most part today. All day we're going to have some sunshine, but considerably cooler. As by considerably cooler, I mean considerably cooler. We're only going to get to about 35 today as opposed to the 47 we hit yesterday. Again, lots of sunshine. Clouds will be thickening up tonight, 23 for the overnight low, but we're still going to have quite a bit of sunshine on New Year's Day. It's a mixture of clouds and sun. We'll call it partly cloudy. A little bit cooler, high of 33, which is just about normal this time of the year. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy, 24 for the overnight low. Wednesday, we all head back to our regular routines under cloudy skies and 34 for the afternoon high. Slight chance of a rain-snow mix Wednesday night, but look at the high on Thursday, up near 40, so whatever rain or whatever snow we get, I should say, isn't going to last very long. These temperatures going from just about normal to above normal. We're right back into the lower 40s again on Friday with a slight chance of rain. And for the first weekend of the New Year, Saturday and Sunday, partly cloudy Saturday, high of 37, lots of sunshine Sunday, and a high of 36 degrees. All in all, the weather is not going to be making the news as we say goodbye to 2018 and welcome 2019. And the same deal with the mountain passes. Let's take you up to the Cascades. Not a lot going on there either. I-90 right now, no advisories, no restrictions. That's not our usual camera that we show you. The usual camera is on the fritz. It ain't working right now, so we have to go to a different camera. It doesn't matter. Roadway is mostly bare and wet, some scattered clouds, and no advisories, no restrictions on I-90. Let's do an updated shot of Stevens Pass. Traction tires are advised there. The roadway mostly bare and dry. Frost and ice in places. There is a traction tire advisory on Stevens, but it looks pretty passable to me. Same deal with Blewett. They do have a traction tire advisory up there. There's some snow and some slush and some ice on the roadway on Blewett, but it didn't look too bad to me. I'm seeing quite a bit of asphalt. And again, if you don't know, and I've mentioned this before, the Washington State Patrol, the troopers drive over the pass and they decide on whether traction tires need to be advised or required, all that other stuff. That is a State Patrol decision, not the DOT. Again, no advisories or restrictions on Snoqualmie Pass. Stevens and Blewett do have a traction tire advisory. No snow at all in the forecast for the mountain passes until Wednesday night. Wednesday night into Thursday, they're going to get some snow, quite a bit of snow. In fact, Wednesday night, 3 to 5 inches of snow expected in the mountain passes, and then on Thursday, throughout the course of the day, they'll get snow anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. But between now and late afternoon on Wednesday, passes look mighty fine indeed. It's 49 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take one more look at your Monday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Kashmir. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. About 10 minutes left on this program. I am Dan Kuntz. Once again, mostly clear skies, 28 degrees, lots of sunshine today, and a high of 35. Some breaking news this morning to our newsroom. Firefighters called out overnight to a structure fire on South Mission Street in Wenatchee. It was an older single-story wood frame home that caught fire. According to Chelan County Fire District 1 Captain Clint Webley, he said the house was not occupied.
We arrived to find smoke and fire showing from the Bravo side of the structure, one of the windows on that side, and smoke throughout the building. The building appeared vacant with boarded up windows. However, we made sure we got inside as quickly as possible for a fire attack and do a primary search. Lots of times, especially during this time of year, people use structures like this to stay warm. We had some difficulty gaining access to the fire because it was boarded up, but crews were able to get in quickly still and make a good fire attack and knock the fire down, and we were able to get searches of the structure with nothing found. No injuries reported. We're just continuing to monitor on scene for any hot spots.
Webley told senior news correspondent Steve Harrod that the damage to the structure was limited to the south side of the building. Cause is under investigation. Southbound traffic, by the way, on Mission Street near the Senator George Seller Bridge was disrupted for a couple of hours last night. Well, it is New Year's Eve, and it's one of the biggest and busiest nights of the year for law enforcement as they go out and look for people who have been drinking and driving. As you well know, our very own Caitlin Hedder's sheet a few weeks ago rode along with Wenatchee Police Officer Albert Gonzalez as he went on a DUI patrol in the wee small hours of the morning. Here's part 3 of that series.
Driver impairment due to alcohol and drugs is the #1 contributing factor in fatal crashes in Washington state and is involved in nearly half of all traffic fatalities. This, according to a 2018 traffic safety report. Another major contributing factor to vehicle fatalities in Washington state is speeding, which accounts for 31% of all crash fatalities between 2007 and 2016. While on a DUI ride along with Wenatchee Police Officer Albert Gonzalez, we saw an example of an impaired driver speeding and failing to yield.
Come on, there's plenty of places to pull over. You gotta be kidding me.
After pursuing the vehicle into East Wenatchee and eventually coming to a stop at a 7-Eleven, officers asked the driver to step out of the vehicle.
What is your issue? Driver, put your hands out the window. Driver, put your hands out the window.
Explaining to police why she failed to stop for Officer Gonzalez, the driver submitted to the preliminary breath test after admitting she had been drinking. Gonzalez places her under arrest for driving under the influence and speeding.
Okay, look, I'm not charging you with the felony, okay? I'm not charging you with the felony. This is simply you failed to yield to my lights and sirens, and obviously you're under the influence.
Any driver arrested for driving under the influence in Wenatchee is taken to the Chelan County Jail. In this case, the impaired driver began to refuse to cooperate with Officer Gonzalez, but volunteered for a blood test. After following protocol for a blood draw, the female driver was booked in jail for a DUI. When it comes to DUIs, I asked Gonzalez if he's ever sympathetic toward a person and their story, as it could be the worst day of someone's life.
It's all about how you talk to people and how you come across. I always tell people that exact thing, and a lot of officers do too. When we arrest somebody, it is the worst day of their lives. It doesn't matter what the charge is. They're going to jail, so they're not going to be happy about it. Some people know that it's coming. Some people don't care. Others freak out. But ultimately, what it comes down to is I just break it down and I say, hey, look, it's not a felony, first of all. And unless they have more than 4 in 10 years, then it is a felony, but that's another story. A lot of people from all walks of life we see that get DUIs. I mean, professionals, I mean, your average Joe, your hardened criminal, everybody. It's kind of a sad deal, but I think a lot of it comes down to people feel that they are fine and they're not.
More often than not, DUIs are a preventable crime. Officers often warn the community, just don't drink and drive.
That's what I say. It's always safe. Just don't drive and just get an Uber.
Officer Gonzalez says there are cases where drivers are exhibiting dangerous behavior, but it's not always impairment.
Something that we got to be cognizant of too is medical emergencies that might seem like impairment, but aren't.
Drivers experiencing a diabetic episode, stroke, a crisis or mental health condition, or even a traumatic brain injury. These are all instances where a driver could be misidentified as impaired. Gonzalez says this is where interview questions and the field sobriety test can help determine the situation, or calling in a drug recognition expert.
If all else fails, then a DRE can be called out, a drug recognition expert, to conduct some additional testing.
Also known as a DRE, the purpose for this program is to further help officers determine whether a driver is under the influence and what drug is causing the impairment.
So I'm a DRE, so I do a lot of DUIs.
DREs complete several weeks of training and follow a 12-step procedure when investigating a possible DUI and are required to maintain their certification every 2 years. In our next NCW magazine, we sit down with Wenatchee detective Steve Evett to take a closer look at the field sobriety tests and talk more about DREs. Visit ncwlife.com to watch this episode and view other NCW magazines on demand. Caitlin Hedersheet, NCW Life News.
Thank you very much, Caitlin. Speaking of driving under the influence, arrests are up 38% in the Wenatchee Valley this year, according to a report prepared by the Wenatchee Police Department. Arrests by the Chelan County Sheriff's Office had the biggest jump, up 47% over 2017. But all agencies, Chelan and Douglas County Sheriff's Department, the Wenatchee Police Department, and the East Wenatchee Police Department had significant increases in DUI arrests. The report tracks arrests from January 1st to December 26th of this year. Chelan County deputies arrested 289 people for DUI. That's up from 197 in 2017. In 2016, they arrested 131 people. Wenatchee arrests went from 129 in 2017 to 184 in 2018. East Wenatchee Police Department arrested 65 in 2017, 83 this year. Douglas County deputies arrested 129 people this year. That's up from 105 in 2017. Overall, for those jurisdictions, arrests went from 496 last year to 685 this year. The Wenatchee Police Department does point out that while most DUI arrests are for alcohol consumption, impaired driving also includes marijuana use, prescription drugs, and illegal substances. Of course, DUIs account for a significant number of fatal auto accidents. It's pretty simple. If you're out and about and you have too much to drink, get an Uber, get a Lyft, call a friend, take a cab. Just don't be stupid. That's good general advice for anybody, wouldn't it? Just don't be stupid. Program reminder, no Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow. It is the new year. Everybody's taking the day off, so special programming scattered throughout the course of the day here on the NCW Live channel, but Wake Up Wenatchee Valley will not be airing tomorrow. Also, the news will not be airing tomorrow. Basically, the regular programs that you're used to will be scattered in and out, but our two main bookends, if you will, of this TV station's daily broadcast schedule, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, this program, and the news with Grant Olson will not be aired tomorrow, so we can enjoy the New Year's and hopefully watch the Huskies beat Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. We'll find out. But my guest for the rest of the week, on Wednesday, Jeremy Anders, our friend Jeremy Anders, one of my all-time favorite people, who's the brand new general manager of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Jeremy will be joining me later on this week. Also, Renee Parkins from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society will be dropping by. They got some new programs going on, a very busy 2019 coming their way. And we mentioned this during the news earlier in the day, but retired Judge T.W. Chip Small has written a book about what it's like and what to think about if you want to think about being a judge. And Chip Small will be joining me on Friday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Whatever happens over the course of the day or the course of the next couple of days, again, since we're off tomorrow, don't forget to go to our website at ncwlife.com. We populate it all the time with the latest news. You can also, as you see at the bottom of your screen, get a hold of us if you want. You can contact us by email at news@ncwlife.com. You can just pick up the telephone and give us a call if you so desire. You can private message us on our Facebook page, or you can just go to our website and click on the Contact Us icon. That's it. Everybody have a great New Year's Eve. Be safe out there. We're off tomorrow. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.